guys, I'm back with a new video. Okay, this is gonna be a story time video for you guys. I promised someone I will be posting this story time video, but as I was like going through the conversation that I had with the guy in the story, I was like, okay, if I tell this play by play, it would take me about 2 hours minimum to finish it, and I don't have time for that. Like, I am not going to invest my whole 2 hours minimum time to tell you guys what we have told each other. So I'm just gonna, squeeze it in a really short, not really short, but a video, a shorter version for this. And a big shout out as well to Miss Hyper Singer on Twitter and also on YouTube. Hi girl! She's the only one that answered the Twitter poll about this story time. So I'm like, I'm just gonna give her a shout out because she makes a lot of song covers on YouTube. She's actually one of like the people I watch on YouTube. Like, I binge watch your videos, Miss Hyper Singer. Like, honestly, I binge watch your covers. I share them. You girl know that. Like, I just binge watch, and I'm gonna put her link on the description box as well, so you guys can check her out, and share the love. Go follow her as well on Twitter and Instagram. She posts a lot of food porn and like a lot of witty stuff on Instagram. Just saying, okay. So I'm gonna let you guys in on this conversation I had with a guy back in, what year was that? 2013. And it was a long time ago, okay? It was like 3 years ago. But I just saw the conversation on my Twitter DM, direct message. And I was like, hey, what happened to this conversation? And I started reading back all that we said to each other. I cringed at everything I said, and I regret doing that. Okay? I don't really regret meeting this guy, but I regret like not acknowledging the red flags. There were like fire engine red flags banging in my face, like saying, hey girl, this is a bad guy, hello. Why? And if you guys do not know, I am the kind of person that I see the good side in everyone all the time. Even if you're like the shittiest person on earth, I still see that you might still be a good person. It's just that you're misunderstood. That's my common thing. That's why I'm getting, like, I always get what do you say? How do you say it? I always get bullied by people. Like, I'm gonna say bullied, okay? I get bullied by a lot of people because of that side of me. Like, I don't care if you're like the shittiest person on earth. If I think you're cool, if I think you're nice, I'm gonna consider you as my friend. And that's, I'm gonna stay with you until you do something shitty to me, and I will hate your guts, and I'm gonna let go of the friendship. I've done a lot of those things. Okay, so let's go with the story. Basically, so this guy, I'm not gonna say this guy again, but his name is Mark on Twitter. I'm not gonna say his Twitter handle. So this guy, his name is Mark on Twitter. I'm not gonna say his Twitter handle because his account is in private right now. But if you do see him, his account distinctively has my name on it. That's the dead giveaway, because he had put in his account ytphotoescapes, that's my name on Twitter, ytphotoescapes dev. That dev actually means devil, because he calls me angel, I call him devil. Okay, I'm giving you guys like the groundwork. If you guys want to look for him, like, go ahead, that's okay. But this guy, just like catfished me. I believe he catfished me and just left me hanging. Because with the start of the conversation, the red flag was immediately there. Because I checked his account and most of his posts are like highly sexually induced. Like, honestly, he was on Twitter to look for girls to fuck. And I was like, oh my god. When I remembered some of the tweets I saw in his account, I was like, why? Why didn't I ignore him? Why? Okay, but I was 24 at that time. I was not in a relationship. I was moving on from an ex-boyfriend that basically made me feel so bad about myself. So I was like, this guy is giving me all the attention because out of the blue, Mark just like went in my Twitter feed, followed me, started favoriting. That's not a real word, but he started, favorite my tweets, retweeting them, replying to some of my tweets, and I was like, okay, this guy is giving me attention. It is kind of like a first thing for me again, since your girl doesn't have a boyfriend, I was not dating, so I was like, okay, let's give this guy a chance. We started the conversation on the direct messenger. There was a red flag again. And basically the red flag was he asked me, do you like sex? And if you guys are wondering what I said yes. That was the first part that I was like, oh my god. Why did you say yes? Okay, so back then I was 24. I didn't really care of answering those kinds of questions because, there are a lot of people that are sexually active. There's no need to be ashamed of it. So I'm like, okay, I answered. I do love sex, but I don't do it that often because I know the complications of, having sex regularly with different people. I do use protection, okay? If you're wondering, when I do that, I use protection, okay? So he started asking me questions about my work. He started asking me questions of what I do, and I did mention to him that I'm a blogger and a YouTuber. At that time I was starting to be a little bit more active on writing and also on producing videos on YouTube. And I did tell him, hey, it's a bit of a secret. Like, even if it was on my account, it is on my account. I'm not really that comfortable in saying it to people that at that time that, hey, I'm a blogger, I'm a YouTuber. Like, I'm not that comfortable at that time. But now I'm like so comfortable. I basically say it every time someone asks me, what do I do? I'm a blogger, I'm a YouTuber. There's no need to be ashamed. Okay? So at this point in the conversation, we started talking June 11. So halfway through the conversation, I noticed that most of what he asked me are like sexually related questions. Maybe I fueled it because I answered his first question, which is, do you like sex? And I'm not gonna go into detail like what questions those were, but what I actually do is I divert the conversation. Like, instead of like directly, those message bloops, like, hey, how are you? Hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, diverting the conversation to the point that we're confusing each other to know, what are you answering, what are you asking, where are we in the conversation. And I was able to do that for some time, but after a while I got tired because I also got confused. So yeah, I never told anyone about this. I believe when I was having that conversation with him, I was already vlogging. I already have a vlogging channel. Yeah. But I never told anyone. Like, I was like, okay, this is gonna be my little secret. It's gonna be all up to me. It's like, if this is gonna work out, that's great. If it's not, I don't know. Like, at that time, I was like, I don't know. Yeah. So, we started talking, and halfway, it's like that. But then, I noticed that he also started to be very possessive of me. What I mean by possessive is that even though we have not seen each other physically, he demands me to be faithful to him, meaning like I don't interact with any boys, I don't talk to any guys on Twitter. And one instance that happened was I had this tweet about a Korean K-pop star, a K-pop star basically, that I was like obsessed with up until today. So he actually got jealous, and I did ask him, hey, are you jealous? And he asked me back, like, are you jealous? And I'm like, why should I be jealous? Am I your girlfriend? Like, I made it clear that, hey, even if we're not together, I'm not gonna be even if we're together or not together, I'm not the jealous type. So he's like, hey, don't talk to any boys, don't, interact with them, stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'm like just answering them for the sake of answering them, okay? The last message he did send me was, I believe it was about like asking him how his day was. I asked him that and he answered, and after that he didn't answer me anymore. I kept messaging him for like half of the month of June up until July. Like up until the first week of July, I kept messaging him. And the really last message I sent him was to inform him of this video. And up until this point, I don't know if he still exists. I got into the conclusion that he catfished me because there were also instances in the conversation that I asked him, hey, can you upload a new picture, or can you send me your picture, or do you have an email, do you have a Skype account? And he said no to all of it. I don't know if he's just really conscious, since I mentioned to him that I'm a blogger and YouTuber, or it's just like he doesn't want to get attached. He just want to go down to my lady parts. Yeah, but he left me hanging because after that, he did tell me like the ILY, like the I love you, but I just answered back like, I like you, but I'm not in that phase yet. Maybe he got turned off at that time. Maybe he found another girl that he can fuck. I don't know, but he basically left me hanging because I did mention to him that, hey, just let me know if you're not interested. I remember that part. Like, if you're not interested anymore, just let me know. And he never did. Most guys that have said, hey, I won't leave you, I won't let you down, I won't leave you hanging, those are the ones that will leave you hanging. Tried and tested, okay? Tried and tested. And I'm like, okay, I'm not feeling well today for some reason, but that's basically it for today's video. I am pretty sure, I am like 90% sure that he won't be seeing this, but if by any chance he does, Mark, you know who you are. You can message me on Twitter. You can leave a comment below. You can email me. There are like a lot of possibilities, but since you chose to leave me hanging, because I'm not gonna say I have started to like you more than just like, I just want a closure, and I think this is a good closure since I'm telling the story about it. And I just want you to know that what you did to me was uncalled for. It was a fuckboy 101 move, and wow, fuckboy was not used that time, 2013. It's like, you know, just a new term, but it was like a douchebag move. Okay, let's go back to 2013. It was a douchebag move, and you know, I just hope that karma didn't like return what you did to me. I don't want that to happen to you. Like, I don't want anyone to be left hanging. I don't want anyone to be catfished. If I experience that, it's fine. It's an experience. But I hope you don't experience what I experienced, because it's like really hurting. It's really hurtful, because I was like, hey, you know, I am starting to think, hey, why? I was starting to think at that time to let someone in, because at that time I was moving on from a previous relationship. So I was like building like really strong walls around me from guys, and he's the only one that was able like to, you know, make a hole. But unfortunately, I had an epoxy and sealed it up again because of what he did to me. So yeah, that's basically it for today's video, guys. I know this is pretty long. I'm so sorry. But for the next video, you guys will have a treat for sure. Make sure to follow me on my social networking sites, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Make sure to, you know, follow me and be active, because, you know, that's the least I appreciate. Like, that's the least I would know that you guys are there. Okay? That's like the assurance that, hey, I have you guys. I have you guys. Okay, so I do have to go now. Thank you so much for watching. My throat is so dry right now, and I don't have my water bottle, so I have to drink water. So I'll talk to you guys on my next video, okay? Bye! Mwah.